I was a crew chief door gunner on a UH-1 helicopter, and my main job was the crew chief. It was my job to make sure that the helicopter was ready to fly missions. And after a mission, when we came back to the base, it was my job to make sure that the helicopter was still in good shape, repair anything that was wrong with it, or if the repair was out of my expertise, we had regular maintenance people that would come and fix it. But most of the time, it was the crew chief that just fixed whatever was needed to be fixed on a helicopter, because most of it was just minor maintenance, just like your car, you see that the oil is topped off and has gas, windows cleaned and everything else like that. Almost everybody that was in Vietnam at one time or another rode in a Huey helicopter. If you had to go somewhere, we were down in the Mekong Delta, down in the southern part of the state, at a place called Van Long, but if you had to go anywhere else, if for some reason you had to go up north to Saigon or someplace like that, the only way to get there was by helicopter, by UH-1. Most people associate it with war, and it was used, we took troops in and dropped them off in LZs, and LZ is a landing zone, and picked them up, and a lot of times it would be a hot LZ, which that means somebody's firing at you. But it was also used to carry mail to troops out in the field. Some of these, especially the infantry, would be at a camp, way far away from their home base, and they may be there for weeks or months before they'd ever get back to home base. And the Huey would take their mail to them and take their meals to them, take a supply for the cook so he could fix meals. And, a lot of these guys were out in the field over holidays, Christmas and Thanksgiving. And the Huey would be used to take them out Thanksgiving dinner or take them out food, and mail from home was a big deal in Vietnam, Everybody wanted to hear from home, so it was vital that the mail be gotten out to the people in the field, and the Huey was the one that done that. It always flew. I mean, there was very little maintenance on the Huey to keep it flying. It had a good airframe to it, and it had a good engine to it, and it would fly forever and ever and ever, I mean, sometimes we'd be flying, not continuously, but we'd be out, 10, 12 hours a day. And as long as you kept it gassed up, well, that thing would fly. It would go anywhere you wanted to go, and that's another good thing. There was, places that you could get that Huey into, and you could land it and take off that nothing else could. I mean, there were other helicopters in Vietnam, but they were kind of limited to the scope of their ability. A Cobra helicopter, which was a faster helicopter, had more guns. It had to actually have a landing strip, a base to take off from, and the big Chinook that has the two rotor blades on it, the same way with it, where the Huey could land anywhere. If there was a spot of ground, the Huey could land it. And there's even stories of some pilots, I think y'all have interviewed Captain Bob Ford before, who's a friend of mine. There's stories of a Huey actually using its rotor blades to cut limbs and branches off of a tree so they could actually get down and land in a place. So unless it was shot down, which was not very often, I mean, it could go anywhere.